Hi, gorgeous Capricorn family. Ooh, am I so excited to talk to you. I think you're all aware of the fact that you have there's a lot going on with Capricorn family. Like a lot. And has been for a little while. There's just been this really impactful energy with you guys, working with you for a while, and October is doing some really interesting things with that. I actually think it's very supportive of you. Very supportive of you. It's kind of like there's been a lot going on with this whole south node of the moon in your sign and this Pluto and this Saturn conversation that's been going on in your sign. And we're starting to get to this place in that whole process where you're starting to reap the benefits. Like you've done a ton of shadow work, you've done a ton of looking at where you thought you were weak, or you thought you weren't worthy, or you thought you couldn't do something, or that you weren't allowed, or that you had to hide certain aspects of yourself. You've done so much with that. And October is where we're starting to get the first glimmers of you taking all of that wisdom, all of that knowledge, all of those places you had to go, and you get to start using it in the world. And you get to start feeling like all that South Node stuff, all that Pluto stuff is starting to make sense. How exciting is that? I mean, first off this month, we have Pluto going direct in your sign. It's going direct on October 3rd, and Pluto direct is a beautiful moment. You know, Pluto goes retrograde about half the year every year, and so we're always doing this, and Pluto's been in your sign for a while, so we've been doing this work, right? We've been doing this work every year, but this year's a little different because of the South Node placement, because Saturn's working with you still, and it's giving you this boost. Okay, you know, you've looked at where you felt weak, you've looked at where you felt scared, you've looked at where you've perceived yourself as weak, or where you inherited, you know, people told you, oh, you know, you're on top of it, you're just this, and when really you had all these other emotive places, when really you had all this other sensitivity, when really you needed to honor that and to bring it forward in the work you're doing in the world, right? This is also an interesting time of year because with the Sun in Libra and Mars entering Libra on October 4th, we have a lot of energy moving through your 10th house of what you're doing in the world and how you want to share of your energies. You may have felt over the last few months that you were a little bit protective of your externalized personality and that you didn't want to share it as much. And in October, there's a bit more of a boost in that desire to share of your magnetism, your brilliance, your warmth, your Five of Pentacles. Okay, that has everything to do with this Pluto direct thing. It also has to do with, so Mercury is moving into Scorpio on the 8th, or actually on the 3rd, excuse me. Venus is moving to Scorpio on the 8th. But as we move into Scorpio season and the planets are going to start moving more and more into Scorpio, Scorpio is good for you. You know, it sextiles you. It's a really nice energy. It matches some of your intensity, so it's a nice time of year. But Mercury is going to be in pre-shadow phase in Scorpio of its retrograde, which will be happening in November. Starts on October 31st, the retrograde. But the pre-shadow phase means we're combing through also some deeper truths. This is a very truthful month. This is a very honest month. This is an investigative time of using our minds and our thoughts to come to real understanding. Ace of Pentacles. Look at that transformation, Capricorns. Five of Pentacles to Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, can you see how there is this shift in dynamic? There's a shift in the conversation. There's a shift in how things are perceived. And this is all part of that reward that is coming from that deep South Node work you have been doing. This is such a powerful time. But as we head toward the end of the month, we head into Sun in Scorpio, Mercury is pre-shadow, and then we'll go retrograde in Scorpio on the 31st. We have a new moon in Scorpio on the 27th. We have a lot more of this Scorpio energy. There's also going to be this thing going on with Cappies, which is you are going to feel like sharing of yourself. You know, you're going to feel like sharing that magnetism in a way that maybe you haven't felt like sharing for a few months. Been a little bit more private, a little bit more about other things going on internally. Three of Swords. Okay. But that's what I'm saying here. Okay, so this Five of Pentacles and Three of Swords, don't let it freak you out too much, because this is what I have noticed in the work I do, and when I connect with energies, when I realize, oh, you're going forward, we start to build. We start to have success, lovers. We start to have the experiences we want to have. All those parts of yourself that have been highlighted again and again with Pluto, Saturn, and the South Node all working with you, they get put in the light. They get put in a space where they are seen and they are heard and they are witnessed, which can feel scary. Because what if it means you're just going to live the same cycle over again? What if even looking at those things means that, yeah, you have met the person. You have met the project. You are making the money. You are moving through the world. It is happening. Wow, it's happening. But what if it all... Whoa, a card just fell. King of Wands. What if it's all just the same? I've done all this work. I've checked in with all these parts of myself. And that little voice that still says, but what if it's all the same, is there. It comes up the most strongly when we are really transcending past. And it's almost a past any old patterning. We're really getting into the new, good, rich, new patterns that we haven't totally learned yet, right? We haven't gotten fully fluent in them yet. So that is when those little voices get the loudest. They like to come up at that time, because until you get your skill set and footing, hey, Capricorn, hell yeah. I like the devil when it comes in the Capricorn reading, because there's some fun symbolism going on there. But it's like learning any new skill set. If you had never done gymnastics before and you're on the balance beam, or you're doing a tumbling, you're not going to just walk into that gym and do the tumbling routine, right? You're learning a new pattern. And you have to learn to trust into it, and that's part of what you're doing this month. Queen of Wands and Death are the last two cards that popped out. Okay, so you guys, oh, and the bottom of the deck, let's just add this in. Four of Wands. Nobody ever accused you guys of not being like full of vibrancy, magnetism, intensity, and power. I mean, I guess some people have, maybe they have accused you of that. I have never experienced Capricorn energy as boring or or stuck. Like, you guys are very powerful, energetic beings, and you have a lot of momentum and intensity behind you. You move through the world with intent and focus and vision. And this month, I think that intensity and that vision is really strong for you. The desire, the clarity, there's all this energy moving through you. Including, I didn't even mention, there's a full moon in Aries on the 23rd, or on the 13th, sorry, I'm not getting all my dates wrong. That's a fellow cardinal sign. It's in your 4th house of home and family. It is illuminating everything. I mean, everything here is just big. Big. It's like centerpiece transits going on here. Mercury and Venus moving through Scorpio, that's some big energy right there. That is some passionate, powerful energy. Mercury retrograde gearing up to do some combing through in Scorpio. That is some big, impactful energy. That is big healing energy. Pluto going direct with you guys. Aries full moon. I mean, this is just big energy. And it is like a spotlight. Now, I was thinking about you guys too, because there's something happening as we get closer to your season and as we close out 2019, which is that Jupiter is getting to its final couple of months now in Sagittarius. Early December, Jupiter is coming to meet you guys. That is a really good thing. The expansion is wild when Jupiter is moving through your sign. The abundance is huge. There's a really good reason why 2019 has been such a year of prep for you, and why October is very useful, because you're gonna be moving forward on stuff, and you need to give grace and honor to those parts of yourself that are scared the old patterns are going to stick around and that you're not going to get out. So let's talk through these. Look at this Ace of Pentacles first of all. Okay, this Ace of Pentacles is in a context. I think we can agree between the Five of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. We've got an ace that is opening you up to the potential of a new beginning, new project, new impact on the world, possibly new partnership, right? new connection, new passionate love, new ways of sharing what you know is inside here with the rest of the world. This kind of opportunity that brings up this kind of energy, I know that this is important because it brings these up. You know, if we're growing in kind of like just like an okay way, just kind of average way, these points of pain, worthiness, fear, where we feel our weakest, what have you, don't really get very loud. You know, they're like, yeah, whatever, you know, this doesn't matter. When with something really big, when we are really truly stepping into new cycles that don't include the old patterning, that don't include the old routine, the old cycle, these voices get very loud. It's the protective voice, right? This is the voice that wants to keep you safe. So it's going to look out for where you could get locked out, where you could get hurt, where it's possible something will fall through, where it's possible that if you take the leap of faith that all the things are going to go wrong. And these are the points of pain that we often pick up on when we're very young. Our relationship to money, to value, to work, to love, to relationship gets formed very young by what we perceive in our family dynamics and in culture and media and in our social dynamics. These things, we learn a story very quickly early on because we have to make sense of the world, and they come with us. The deepest ones come with us for a very long time until we have an opportunity to see them and release them. So don't let these voices fool you, right? Don't let them fool you into thinking that everything is scary, because all the rest of these cards in this reading are telling me, you know, this isn't the old cycle. This isn't the old cycle. You are moving and doing and creating. And this is time for it to be about that clarity. Also, keep in mind that with this new cycle, those things that seemed like liabilities for a long time in your life, the things that have been coming up during these deeper transits, are assets. And you will be asked to share them and move through with them, right? And that is big. You got this Lovers here, and like I said, you know, this is a connective energy. Yes, it's tied to Gemini, but more importantly, the Lovers brings in communication, openness, bridge building, right? So yes, relationship. Possible there may be some kind of fire sign involved in your world, because there's a lot of Wands energy personalities around here, my friends. You know I love a good Capricorn. But the Lovers is about connectivity. It's about speaking. It's about showing. It's about vulnerability. It's about sharing. Connectivity. Being seen. Once again, there is this urge with you guys to be seen, to share your voice, to share your vision. If you have projects that you want to move forward on, this month is going to feel very rich and open to that. If you are starting a new journey with a relationship or getting closer in your relationships in your life, you'll be noticing that, once again, we're not in the old cycle, so now deeper conversations are coming up. New layers are being revealed. You're learning new information. You're getting answers. So there's some intensity going on with the top four cards here, I have to say, because, like, once again, all these characters here, these are all energies that really are very passionate, very focused, want to build things with total authenticity and intensity. So we're not, these are not wishy-washy. This is not watery energy. This is not maybe ho-hum energy. This is very focused, visionary energy. Like, this is what I'm doing in the world, and I'm going to do it. Queen of Wands, King of Wands are visionaries. They're leaders, right? They see and they act. So whether you have a fire sign in your life, an Aries or Sag, you're a Leo, or you are stepping into this energy, or you have this energy around you. This is visionary energy, and it's really good for getting that like 20-mile visionary focus going on here. There is intent, there is action, there is focus, there is movement with these energies. Now, one thing I will say, your card is here, you know, and so in a Capricorn reading, I like seeing the Devil card because it's you stepping into your full power of your ability to show up and physically do in the world. The one thing I'll keep in mind, though, because you also have the Lovers here, is with the old patterning and with the ways you felt you needed to do things before, even in accepting maybe your connection with this archetype of Capricorn, right, that you are expected to be a certain way, those chains have to be broken, right? And that's part of this new cycle for you guys, is that it's not just about being who you feel you're supposed to be or who you've been in the past. So pay attention to where you feel you may be locking yourself into who you've needed to be in relationships for other people, how you've needed to be in the way you work in the world, and how you've needed to share of emotions, because that is getting a big reworking this month. And that is where the Death card is coming in as well. Maybe has Scorp in the mix, and it is like we are really heading towards Scorpio season this month, and we will be in Scorpio season. And Scorpio energy, for all of us, we get taken on a little ride through the underworld, through digging through our bones, and for you, this is a release. And honestly, what I feel with it is being able to breathe. So this is what I'll say. There's so much good around you this month, right? We even ended with the Four of Wands at the top. There's so much good expansion happening around you. You've got opportunities coming in. You have deeper relationship connectivity coming in. You have huge downloads. This is a great month to journal, to do morning pages in the morning, to write down your ideas, to take the time to connect in, because man, the ideas are going to be so good this month. So actionable. It's also going to bring up any parts of yourself that still feel like you need to hold on. And there will be a dialogue, and it can feel confusing because you are letting go of what has held you captive before. And so it's like, but I've never done things in this way without that pattern before. And the fear voice is going to say, there's no way that's going to work out well. But the visionary voice is going to say, absolutely it will. Let's go. Let's do this. This is, like I said, a very honest month. Just like for all the signs, this is a very honest month. This is a very intentional month. This is a very laser-focused month. This is not a time of uncertainty, right? I even said uncertainty with a question mark in it, but I'm trying to find the right word. It's kind of a destiny month. There's this kind of sense of clicking in to what's next. And so it's not confusing. It's not confusing. If you guys want to get a little bit more out of the coming weeks, I started my Patreon. I'm very excited. I already have some stuff up there on it, including the weekly write-ups for the next couple of weeks. And there will be a weekly astrology write-up for every week. So it'll be going over the major transits and what I'm noticing thematically and how to tap into it. I'm also going to be doing a Pluto direct in your sign video. I'm also going to be doing a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio video. I'm going to be doing a lot more about my personal journey as a sensitive person and taking you through some of my favorites and a little bit more of my lifestyle. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. I just have one tier, and when you sign up, you get everything. You get access to all those extras, everything. And like I said, there's going to be new content every single week, so really exciting. I also have a handful of reading sessions still available in my October, November, December calendar. So I would highly recommend, if you're wanting to do a one-on-one session with me and work with me before the end of the year, that you hop on over to my calendar. I'll leave the links for those below. Because I only have so many sessions left for it's 2020. It's crazy. So yes, I would highly recommend going over there. If you need to ask me questions, I'll also leave my email below as well. You can find me on Instagram at SARAHTAROT. I'd love to see you there. I'll leave all my goodies in the description box, so don't worry. You will not be left out in the cold. You can also find PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry on her Etsy shop. She's always got something cooking, so go check her out. Have a blessed and beautiful October, my friends. You're so worthy of this joy and this time. And that visionary, directed, focused energy that is yours inherently gets a chance to shine. And I just love that. I will see you in November for more adventures. And as we gear up for this big transit shifting over into your sign, and you better believe in Patreon, I will be doing a discussion of Jupiter and Capricorn, because that is going to be some good stuff. I'm very excited. I love you guys so much. I will see you very soon. Mwah.